quick note, when you're laying your track down, you want to make sure you're using something to pin it down, so when we're lining everything up here in a minute, we'll be able to make sure that it's dead center of the roadbed. So I'm using the little holes that come with it already placed, and I put my foam nails down inside that, right in the center of the roadbed as I get around. Now right over here on flex track, when you get done, you're always going to have one that's longer than the other. So I'll put my square and I just kind of eyeballed it right there, got it straight, and right there we're going to make a cut. And always remember, when you're using your track cutters, the side that's angled in always to the scrap. You want to keep the flat side against the joint where you want to cut. So I just lay it right up there, eyeball it, and snap, and it flies away. So make sure that nobody's standing around when that happens and you're holding the camera in your hand, and that won't happen. If I'd have been not holding the camera, I would have held that piece with my hand and it wouldn't have flew off like that. But there you go. Be back in a few. We'll get ready to glue it down. Alright, a little update on laying the track. I've got it hooked up there to my 18-inch radius. I went ahead and put my turnout back in. I've got it hooked up to my 18-inch radius. Got it lined up good, coming back around. Got the little straightaway right here, and then it turns again. And then right here, I went ahead and put a regular 18-inch radius in. A regular 18-inch radius, then I hooked the flex track again. Reason being, when you take two pieces of flex track and you're trying to get them in a bend like this right here, they want to kink, and when they kink, they throw your rail way off, real bad off. So we'll go ahead and put a regular 18-inch radius in here, tied back in again with the flex track. I'm running through back over here to the crossover. Now I got my crossover, I got my 18-inch radius, and then right here, I'm going to bring you in to show you. I'm pretty flush right there on that one, but that one, we got a little gap. Now what we're going to do, we're going to file this one and try to get the gap to be the same, and when it does, I'm going to shift this just enough so I don't have that big gap. It's just, when you're cutting, you got to be real close, real careful. That's pretty good, but it's still a little more than I like, so I want to file that one down and come back. Okay, well, welcome back. I went ahead and started laying some track. Now it's not glued down, I've only got it pinned down. I got it running all the way around through here, all the way back around over into here, and all the way back over to the cross, 90-degree cross and 60-degree cross. So we got this much laid down, just figuring out where we need to put the track, how we're going to line it up, and how we're going to join it up. Alright, starting right back here from the previous video, we had the 18-inch radius piece come across, and I told you we'll start our flex track here. So I got a full length flex track running along all the way back over to this point right here. So I got about 3/4 away through this turn, a little over half to 3/4. Alright, I found when you're trying to put two pieces of flex track together at a seam, it's very hard to get that smooth transition from here to here. So I'll come back, put a regular 18-inch radius behind this, and I got to still work out a little bit. This a little bending right there, and that'll really get that transition good and smooth. See right there, it's not real good. I just got to bend it back a little bit. I want to leave this actually like this tonight. I want to pull that back, put some more pins over here to hold that back, and maybe with the heat and the cool will help get that track flex more. So then come back right here at the other end of the 18-inch radius, and then I come along with more flex track through the curve, through the straightaway, all the way back to the 18-inch radius that connects to the 60-degree cross. So we're good from here to there. Yeah, right there. And By no means am I any good at laying track. I've done this one time before, and that's been well over 15 years ago, and I've not laid a track since. But with a little trial and error, a little elbow grease, we'll get it just right. See, you kind of see right there, it just ain't quite a smooth transition. We're going to work on that and get that right. So for tonight, we're going to call it quits, and I'll bring another video back of us gluing down the track and getting this top piece ready for laying track. We're going to go ahead and drill our holes to run our bus wires down underneath the table or run up to the track. We're going to go ahead, once we get it glued down and get exactly the way we want it, we're going to go ahead and solder these joints up in here so they're good solid connections underneath here, and we're going to sand and file down any joint that we need to file down. You can kind of hear there's a little bit of a ridge right there. We'll smooth them out, get them nice and smooth, keep them derailing. Until then, everybody, see you soon. Okay, quick track update. We went ahead and glued the track down. I soldered my joints on my flex track inside the thing before I took it back off, and then I went ahead and applied my glue just like we did with the road bed. Now on the track itself, I applied glue in sections. I didn't glue the whole track when I had it laid out. I just glued in sections, and now I've went and got anything I can find that's heavy enough to lay down. I even, at the bridge area right there, I took in a couple of clamps and clamped the track to the overpass right there. And now we're just going to let that set and dry for a few hours, and we should be able to go back and where I soldered and do any sanding I need. Now I'm not going to do any videos on soldering right now. I'm not by no means a professional at this, but I will show you what I did, and I don't think it turned out too bad. I might just hit it with a sanding paper right quick and it should be good, and hopefully we can test a couple of cars on this right here this evening, and we'll be ready to go on doing laying some more styrofoam. Until then, bye bye. Welcome back, everybody. Quick track update. Got Thomas sitting here. I got my Tech 2 DC power supply ready. Got it hooked up. We're going to do a debut of the first Thomas run on the new section of track that we've installed. Glue's still drying in spots, but track is there. It ain't going nowhere. Zoom you in right here. You see I done a little solder work. Got these sections, these joints on the inside tunnels soldered in. Run a file over it, smoothed up my edges, make sure I have a smooth transition. I just used a light hopper car here, tested it. So now we're going to run Thomas on this bottom track, then we'll set him up here on the top track, try him there. So give him a second. Let's put a little power. A little rough. Thomas is a little cold. He ain't been around in a while. Now this Thomas, we found him in a yard sale. Don't know how long or how old he is. I think once you get him up and going, Alright, that section was good. We'll get him up here on the top section and I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. We got Thomas on the upper track now. We're going to give him a little run, see how he does. Well, there you have it, folks. We'll get some hose drill. We're going to come in right behind the tunnel ports. We're going to drill a hose down through here. I'm going to probably put holes right over here and one right there. Same thing over there, just as it comes in tunnel port. Same thing right in here for this section, and then another one right here for right behind this tunnel port for our bus wires. And get that done, and then we're ready to start working on laying our styrofoam for our mountain scene.